on this guitar, which is tuned D, G, B, D. Get my hand up here, you can see that that's low string is D, G, B, D. It's a G chord. My root note's there, and if we talked in terms of scale degree notes, this would be a 1, a 3, and a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 unique tones, and the octave tone is a major scale. But before there was a major scale, before there was a 7-note scale anywhere in the world, virtually every known culture of humans created a thing they called a pentatonic scale. Well, they didn't call it that, they just called it music. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unique notes. And the octave. These notes work because of the ratio of the vibrations of one note to another note. The least pleasant possible pair of vibrations that you could hear would be a half a step, one note and another note that's a half step away from it. And the most pleasant are seconds, thirds. That's a third. First and third. That's a fifth. That's a major chord, 1, 3, 5. And the idea of adding in this fourth and seventh was kind of an odd idea when you think about it, because those are only a half a step apart from the note next to them. And so if you play 4, 5, 6, notes that are too close together, they're unpleasant. Technically, any scale that has 5 notes plus a repeated octave is a pentatonic scale. It could be any 5 notes. But we all know that when somebody says a pentatonic scale, they don't mean any 5 notes. They mean the 5 notes that rock and roll is built out of, and that blues is built out of, except there's 2 of them. There's a major pentatonic scale, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 8 if you're counting off the major scale, the heptatonic or 7-note scale. Those make runs so easy. Play the Tennessee Waltz. That's the first. I was waltzing with my darling. That's just 1, 2, 3, 4 notes out of a pentatonic scale. 1, 2, 3, 4 notes out of a pentatonic scale. If you want to hear a whole pentatonic scale, listen to the guitar lick that gets into My Girl. Those notes are all over all the music you know. So, and the beautiful thing about them, this open G, there's my C chord, there's my D chord, you can play those notes over any of these chords. total notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unique notes. Based on a major scale, it's your first, your second, and your third. You don't play the fourth, you play the fifth, the sixth, you don't play the seventh, and you play your octave note. And that's because in a pentatonic scale there are no half-step intervals. I taught you the intervals on a major scale was a whole step and a whole step and a half step, and a whole step and a whole step and a whole step and a half step. You don't have any half-step intervals in a pentatonic scale. You have a root, a whole step, a whole step. Since the next note in the major scale would be a half step, we're just going to skip over it. So we're actually going to go a step and a half. And since the next note in the major scale would only be a half step from the end, we're going to skip over it and we're going to go a step and a half. And you can play every lick. See, I'm fudging over there, but that's just this note. So it gives me an opportunity to play that third note without changing strings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Octave. Pentatonic scales, you can use them every place. You can play them in any key. I cheated there. I hadn't planned on that part. It's the same pattern. If you look at your nut as if it were a fret, I'm picking that G string there. My nut's a fret, so I go up 2 frets, and then I go over to my string, which is my third, and I could go up 3 frets, but I'll just go over to the next string, up 2 frets and up 3 frets. So if I do it up here, that's a C note. Pretend that's my nut. I go up 2 frets, over a string, up 2 frets, up 3 frets. If you wanted to do that all on one string so you could just see the fret pattern, it would be see, that's a whole step and a whole step and a step and a half and a whole step and a step and a half. Now that's technically known as an anhemitonic pentatonic scale. A hemitone is the same as a half step or a semitone. That thing right there, a whole step. In this scale we have no half steps, so we have no hemitones, so an means none. So it's anhemitonic. So if I was going to play my major scale, my regular 7-tone plus octave major scale, I would go open tone, whole step, and then I'd go a half step, but we're not going to use that half step in a pentatonic scale. We're going to skip right over that and go to this note. Then we'd go up another whole step. We'd go up a whole step, but that note is only half step away from here. And we're not playing any half steps, so we're not going to use this note because it would require, or no, this note because it would require a half step to get here. So we're going to open tone, whole step, step and a half, whole step, step and a half. That's your basic major pentatonic scale. It's in 1.5 million at least. Rock and roll songs, country songs, blues songs, church hymns. I was waltzing haven't got it. I haven't played it. Pentatonic scales, you'll love them, you'll use them all the time. There's also a minor pentatonic scale. 2, 3, 4, 5, and a unique separate note. I'm going to teach you that one in detail. Just know that it exists. Here's your major one. Here's your minor one. That's it. Thanks for watching.